You are about to see why this talent prediction is so obvious. I mean, if there was ever a time in history of esports or sports where one team was by far the best team, it is right now. And this team has only gotten better over time. This is the talent prediction we saw just a couple of days ago going into the Esports World Cup. Well, day one of Esports World Cup now in the books. How has this stacked up? Very, very accurately. Only we the people is the only one to choose Luminosity representing for his organization. So as you guys are aware, we did start day one of the Esports World Cup in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and one team and one team only look to be taking this one all the way, and that is Team Falcons, dominating day one inside of Group A. 140 points. Second place was literally 35 points behind. Still commendable, but game 1, 2, not look, or even 3 wasn't necessarily crazy or anything that's normal Falcon like, right? Then you move over to game 4, 5, 6, and you can see a first place here, a first place there, a first place in game 7, second place in game 8. These guys were on absolute fire. Then you've got Twisted Minds, which obviously is Legends Gaming in second. And honestly, I've been kind of saying the same thing. Do not count out APAC South. This team is definitely here to win. They are not just an APAC South team. They don't just win their region. They actually perform well in North America. This is why you saw, Strafing Flame kind of come out and say, or kind of have some sort of interest in the past about maybe looking at this TSM roster for North America. I mean, these guys are definitely equipped to do so. Look where Jin Burton comes from. Look where Zero comes from. That region is legit, man. And honestly, if you had to put like stack, head-to-head talent, I really think that APAC South might be breeding the best talent in the entire game right now. Twisted Minds in second, though. Those guys played pretty consistent throughout the day. Started off strong, finished off pretty strong. Yeah, Team Liquid in third, FaZe Clan in fourth, and you'll see the green next to their name, right? We'll talk about what this means in just a second. Gaming Gladiators in fifth, LG in sixth, Aurora in seventh, JHS in eighth, and EXL in ninth. So as it stands right now, these 9 teams will be going into the finals, right? They are pushing their way into the next round. However, and it's kind of weird because this is only like a one-sided or a one bracket. You start on Thursday. These teams aren't playing again until Sunday. It is a little weird, but these 9 teams will be going into the finals. Now, the other teams that need to watch out here, well, let's go ahead and push this one out. Reject Winity is done. They have been eliminated. This is the former Crazy Raccoon team. Do not get this confused with the team that just won split one playoffs. Different roster, swapping organizations here. Reject Winity, however, has been eliminated. Crazy Raccoon will be in 10th. So these guys all in the yellow are going into the last chance, basically the loser bracket, right? Crazy Raccoon in 10th, Disguised in 11th, Guild in 12th with MT and Co, GK in 13th, Evo's Predator in 14th, and NIP, right? We talked about Nasky and how these guys need a different script here. These guys did not qualify or look good in Split 2 Pro League. They needed something big. They need to show why we need to keep this roster together. So far, it's not happening. We're not getting that story that we need from NIP, and sadly, 15th, they're going into the losers bracket again. Makers in 16th, Red Rams in also in 16th, tied. Fiddle and Pioneers also in the bottom, barely making it. Only 4 points. Pioneers nearly got eliminated, and I am not wanting to see Gent Deeds or Voltic, any of those guys on that roster go home. I love the entire KCP team right now. Even their manager, I mean, literally nothing but great people. And I really, really hope that these guys are not going to be looking this bad in the next coming days. So this is how Group A did finish off. Overall, not too bad. And I think the top is kind of what we expected. One team I really want to shine some light on here, and crucify me if you want. I mean, I don't know why everybody seems to get upset when I talk about this team, and I've spoke about them the last couple of times. People want to say that they're not to be taken seriously. EXL is one of the only teams from this South American region that I have personally seen in the last year or so. No offense. I'm sorry. Okay, get mad at me if you want to. That actually looks like a real threat in this scene. I know there are some good names that have come out of there, and I know that there's always this conversation that they're the weakest region, but something about this team is different, man. These guys have not only been hanging with the old top dogs, they have been dominating. They have been beyond consistent. I don't really see many days where these guys are slacking. I don't see them playing in scrims, and honestly, I've seen plenty of good scrims coming out of them. I think this team is legit. I think they are real. I think they are actually going to be a force that will be consistent. I'm crossing my fingers on that because I know this will get clipped, and I know people are going to say, what a bad take. But these guys are proving themselves now on LAN. How much more confidence do they have now that LAN is in the books? They've got some performance to show we can do this. But I do need to recognize that Geared Gaming also won in LAN on a loser bracket run, won one of those, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be the next level consistency, spokesperson. But I do think EXL, man, they are underrated, regardless of what you think. Even if they're not going to be a top team, they are underrated. That whole region has a lot of good talent that is being overlooked because of the lack of pro league over there now. It's unfortunate circumstances and situations, but I am happy to see that they were in 9th place. A little disappointed to see Disguised here. We've kind of talked about this. North America is one of the fan favorited teams, especially with design. Everybody's calling for some big changes to be happening. They didn't get the change that they were wanting. They didn't get the results that they were looking for. Things are not locking in still. It's unfortunate, and I hate to see that. I want the best for Disguised, but the results simply are not coming in. They're going to have to turn it up to another level in the last chance bracket, or else I don't even know. I mean, we all know the roster is going to probably change if they don't make it, but I think further changes and implications probably ensue in that as well, like probably a little bit bigger, especially to deal with design. Now, going into tomorrow's game 2, this is Group B, right? This is the other teams that did not play today. Alliance, Blacklist, DMS, Dragon Esports, ExoClan, Elevate, Fnatic, HAO, Heroes, LGD, Mizuchi, which by the way is not Moist, Northeption, NRG, Navi, Riddle Order, which by the way, if you guys didn't see, Nice Week actually joined Riddle today. A little collaboration with 100 Thieves and Riddle. Pretty good to see. Space Station in 16th, TIE in 17th, or Ty, TSM in 18th. Cannot wait to see TSM play. Virtus Pro in 19th, and Weibo Gaming in 20th. How many roster changes are being delayed because this tournament is going on right now? So many people I'm looking at, and I'm surprised they're still together, but it's because we've held out for this World Cup because it was based on Split 1 performance. So interested to see how much this changes over the next couple of days, how many of these teams are actually going to stick together past this roster drama that happens. I'm sure, especially with some of the nerfs and buffs to be talked about, it will be quite a bit. And if you don't know what I'm referring to, Tony Romero had put this up earlier with a little bit of a play test. Crypto is now going to definitely be in meta. I mean, he's like a must pick at this point. He can literally go invisible inside of season 22 whenever he is in his drone. How powerful is that going to be? And also, just in general, Scan Legends got a little bit of an update. So Recon Legends are a real threat now, I think. Some of these things kind of were nerfs, though. Don't make it seem like it was just a one big buff all around. Crypto specifically, yes, he was definitely buffed, and I'm interested to see how this all plays out. Now, I do want to say one thing that has been noted by this is the production quality for Esports World Cup has put the ALGS to absolute shame. I really hope EA is taking notes here, because the trailers that they've had for the teams, the walkouts that they have done, the stage itself, the graphics, it all looks better with the World Cup. It's kind of embarrassing how much better of a job the World Cup is doing than the game itself. And I really, really hope that we are upping our production quality for Apex itself and the ALGS. I mean, even these interviews that they're just doing, I mean, they look so good. They are actually professional. And I think it gets a lot of people a little bit more hyped overall, especially the stage. I mean, just look at this, man. It just feels like a world championship. It feels like a LAN. It actually looks like something that you are waiting all year long for, and you can't wait to see. I mean, this is legit. And it's kind of just, it's unfortunate, that this is not something that is the norm, I guess. This should be something that happens all the time. So just had to add that in there. Big props to the World Cup. Those guys have really done a great job at the production of this, and hopefully our ALGS stuff is soon to adopt this as well. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. Don't forget, the full patch notes of the next update will be coming out literally in 3 days, or Monday morning. So just stay tuned, and we'll keep you up to date when that happens, and we'll keep you up to date with the World Cup results. Make sure to stay tuned. Until the next time, we'll see you all later, Gators.